Thank you, Leader Ort. Good afternoon, everyone. As of this morning, AAA reported that the national average price of gas is $3.34. The average in New York State is $3.46. That's up 10 cents since just last week. And that's up 55% from just 1 year ago. Those numbers, as the leader pointed out, and you can see from the sign behind me, are about the same as what we have right here in Rochester. But yet, here again we are talking about the possibility of another tax increase on our families and our businesses. Under this false narrative that's been put forth by Albany Democrats that without everyday people paying more for their gas, paying more to put into their gas tank, and paying more to heat their homes, we can't satisfactorily address the climate change issues. This proposal that they're pushing is going to hit poor people the hardest. Just last week, the New York State Public Service Commission warned that consumers could be hit with a 21% increase in home heating costs this winter. RG&E, we've all heard it, is forecasting about a 33% average increase for natural gas customers. And just think about it for a minute. Right here in Rochester, in Monroe County, where do we see the least amount of energy efficient homes? Where are those older homes located? They're located in the city of Rochester. They're located in the surrounding rural areas and our farming communities. These are the people who are going to be hit the hardest, the people who can least afford it. There was a new poll from Siena College that came out that showed consumer sentiment among New Yorkers is at an all-time low, 12 points less than where it was. And this is a quote from that poll. "These are the worst results in memory." The Siena poll showed that 54% of New Yorkers said gas prices are having a very serious or somewhat serious impact on their finances. Same findings for the cost of food in New York. The bottom line is this. New Yorkers are paying higher prices for nearly everything, right? We're paying more for our gas, we're paying more at the grocery store, we're paying more for everyday essentials. So why is it now, as we're starting to come out of this pandemic, but businesses and people are still suffering, why is it now that my colleagues on the Democratic side of the aisle are pushing forth this proposal that, according to the Business Council, could increase the cost of gas by as much as 55 cents per gallon? Increase the home heating cost in those older homes by more than 25%. But one of the reasons why I'm here today is not only to make people aware of this, but to let you know that there is good news, right? That those of us here today and our colleagues in the Republican conference, we know elected officials have choices. And our choice is to take action right now to help people. Instead of creating more and new taxes that are going to crush struggling families and businesses, we want to help them. That's why the leader in our conference has proposed suspending immediately the state's gas tax to provide at least some immediate relief. And we can work together. Imagine that, work together to reduce emissions and protect the environment that don't raise the cost for taxpayers and job creators. Think about it. We already have federal and state agencies like the EPA and the New York State DEC who are regulating air emissions. We already have emission standards for the businesses like across the street here, for people who build and manufacture vehicles, construction equipment, farm equipment. I represented how farm communities are going to be hit by this tax. And that's because I represent a largely rural district where people rely on their cars to drive to work and to get their kids to school or daycare or to get to a doctor's appointment. There's no metro service, no bus service to get Mary, who lives in Lyons, New York. She works as an RN in Geneva. There's no transportation, public transportation, to get her from one spot to the other. She needs her car. And people don't have extra money. They're struggling right now because of the pandemic, and some of them have been out of work for a long time. Listen, I get this. It wasn't too long ago that I worked not too far from this site in a group home as a direct care professional serving developmentally disabled population. There were many times when I was struggling from paycheck to paycheck and I was looking around in my car, searching for those extra quarters, right? So I could scrape together enough money, or returning cans and bottles so I could get together a few bucks to put a few gallons of gas in my car. There's so many people out there today who are struggling. This is not the time to add on new taxes, and that is why we are here today to say enough is enough. Let's suspend the gas tax immediately, and let's talk together about how we can protect our environment without hurting people who need it the most. Thank you.